Welcome back to another movie review, and what can I say about Rebel Moon? Zack Snyder's new film out on Netflix currently. It's pretty good. The cast is unbelievable. Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire. This is Part 1 of Part 2. Part 2 apparently comes out in April, which isn't all that far away, so I'm interested in at least seeing the rest of the story, because this movie does feel like half of a story, but it also doesn't make a ton of sense. There's apparently and then the way they marketed this movie, they were already, before they even put out the original cut, they were like, oh, there's going to be director's cut, and there's going to be a rated R's cut, and there's an extended cut, and it's like, well, how many fucking cuts of this movie are there? Why don't we just make the best version of the movie, and I don't care how long it is, just put out the best version of the movie, like James Cameron, putting out 3 hours worth of Avatar movie. Yeah, it's a long movie, but that 3 hours runs because it's a great time the whole time you're in it. You know what I mean? Like, you're enjoying it. Where this, it took me out of it so many times, because right as soon as they were about to get some juicy violence, like the main character puts a gun on a guy's chin, pulls the trigger, and you see pew, and it just leaves a hole. But like in an extended or an R cut, you could tell that there would have been a hole and then a head exploding, and they would have shown the blood and the blood on her and the blood everywhere. And if you're going to lean into that type of violence, lean into it. This is supposed to be a rated R Star Wars movie that was too violent for Disney, so that's why Zack Snyder made it with Netflix, right? That's how I understood this movie. And, I do like the main character. I'm sorry, I don't know the actress's name, but she's pretty great, and, I hate to give the score a bad rating on her performance, because it's not on her. It feels very much so on Netflix and the directors. Why are you putting out this movie, and then, I watched it, now I'm going to have to watch the movie a couple more times to get the cut that I want to see? And then there's going to be a part 2 and a part 3 and a blah, blah, blah. This is Rebel Moon. We never went to the Rebel Moon in this movie. Why is it called Rebel Moon then, you retard? I don't know. These people are so stupid. But there was some cool, stuff in it, but it just felt like a rip-off Star Wars at this point. She's got fire blades. It's like, oh, I wonder what that's like. Lightsabers. I will say, the dude that plays Ajax in Deadpool 1, he's the main villain, and he's kind of like a Nazi, so he's kind of like the Empire in Star Wars, but he's they lean even further into Nazis. But I will say, the costume department, these two red priestesses behind him, super intimidating, but also super detailed. I would love to see the costumes up close in person. But to be honest, the whole movie was alright. I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. Maybe I'll like the extended cut better, but I'm upset that I couldn't have watched the extended cut now. It's out on Netflix. It's not a theater release. Put out the extended cut with the original cut and let people choose which one they want to watch. I don't know. But my favorite part of the entire movie was the very end, and it was this robot character has antlers on it. It was voiced by Anthony Hopkins. So I was like, alright, that's a great way to get Anthony Hopkins in the movie and let him be a badass character, but he doesn't have to, 1, physically be there, 2, physically do any of this action. So you can have a stunt guy do the action, Anthony Hopkins do the voice. I don't mind that, but it also kind of feels like, why is the robot my favorite character and he's barely in the movie? I don't know. But comment below, what do you think of Rebel Moon? Do you feel the same way I do about it? Would you rather see the extended gory cut, the rated R cut? Too many movies these days, it seems they're making movies and then they're they're too afraid to put out the rated R cut, so they dumb it down and cut around it to be a PG-13 movie, and then they put it out for these kids. Kids suck. Why are we catering around, oh, well, a kid audience could watch this. You could watch it with your son. I don't have kids, 1. 2, I don't care about these kids. Let's just put out movies for the adults. 1, the kids ain't paying tickets to go to the theaters, so us adults are. and us adults are ready for more violent content. Like, there is violent content out there, but there's not enough. There's not nearly enough in considering the amount that's for, like, kids. It's like, oh yeah, here's the kid content, here's the adult content. It's like, well, the adults are paying for everything and we got nothing, but there's a mountain of shit for the kids and they don't even give a damn about this shit. Like, give me some gory violence. Zack Snyder, do what you do best. Make cuts of movies and not put them out. Like, when is the Rebel Moon extended cut coming out? I don't know. Maybe I'll re-review it then, and maybe I'll like it more. Maybe I'll hate it more because I have to rewatch this movie that I didn't really love just to see the parts that I do want to see. Oh, God. Oh, well. I hope it's worth it. Zack Snyder, you disappoint me. Although I did like your Justice League, but it should have been, like, everyone's like, well, he got to do an extended cut of the Justice League. Yeah, but that was because of the circumstances that happened before with his daughter, and, like, it was the cut of the movie that we should have gotten all along. Instead, we got a David Ayer cut, or whoever the guy was, or, yeah, whoever the original director of, I think it was Whedon, actually, Josh Whedon. But either way, the original Justice League was not very good, and then Zack Snyder's Justice League was way too long, but it was way better. You know, and that's a different circumstance. Like, they shouldn't just be doing planning extended cuts and rated R cuts and gory cuts and then not put that out originally. Like, I don't know. It seems dumb to me. But comment below what you think. At me on Twitter. Follow me on Letterboxd. Check out all my other movie reviews. Links down in the description below. I'd love to hear from you in the comments section. And I'll see you beautiful people in the next video. Peace.